of people absolutely become the thing that they're being told.
That I'm just trying to imagine, just my heart goes out to someone who's 23 and being told all these things. It's not just the physical pain, but now it's psychological pain too, because we're hearing words. And if you embrace those words, whether they're positive or negative, they're going to impact you in
Yes.
one way or another. Hello, everyone. I'm so happy you're able to join us today. I'm Carmen Milagro, and this is Wellness 360. Welcome. The goal of these sessions is always the same: to view wellness, health, and from hemp CBD to other plant medicine and other health options such as chiropractic care from a 360 lens as we explore different philosophies, opinions, viewpoints, and expertise in the multi-billion-dollar CBD and health and wellness industries. Sometimes we discover together what health and wellness means for each of us as individuals, and other times we validate what we already knew or suspected. And still other times we blow the myths wide open about what we've been led to believe about our minds, our spirit, our own bodies, and our choices in healthcare. But no matter what we share with you, it's always your choice to accept or reject any information that you hear on this series. So be sure to do your own research so that you can decide which ideas, modalities, suggestions, or protocols resonate with you and which guests, coaches, or healers and experts you want to continue to learn from. Trust and verify. My guest on this session of Wellness 360 is Dr. Nayeli Cordoba. Dr. Nayeli is a dedicated upper cervical specific chiropractor who specializes in chronic health issues and has experienced firsthand the benefits of chiropractic care. What is specific chiropractic? Specific chiropractic detects underlying causes for nervous system interference without the use of drugs. Dr. Nayeli Cordoba focuses on patients from all walks of life they want to become healthy, strong, and empowered. She understands that her patients who suffer from chronic pain have had to sacrifice between work, daily habits, quality of life, and time with your family and friends to overcome their health conditions. Dr. Nayeli strongly believes that a positive and empowered family creates a powerful and healthy local community. Her patients value and are typically motivated by long-term and measurable results. Dr. Nay, as she's called by many of her patients, she also works with neurodiverse children by helping them regulate their sensory issues and improve concentration. She's also traveled on multiple missions to Mexico and El Salvador to provide chiropractic care to those communities who often lack access to affordable medical attention. And this is very important for her. It's so important that for the past couple years, she's been building a clinic in Oaxaca and hopes soon she'll be able to also help her native community there. Without further ado, we're going to share with you, our viewers, a bit more about her background, how she became Dr. Nay, and then we're going to jump right into a topic that is near and dear to her heart. Dr. Nayeli, welcome. Welcome to Wellness 360. Thank you for joining us today.
Thank you. It's my pleasure. It's an honor to be here.
Oh, I'm so happy and I'm thrilled that we're able to spend some time together. And I'm excited that we get to talk about something that is so important and that you dedicated your professional career and your life to doing this. So I would love to sort of start, with your family background. How did that impact or influence or not influence you becoming a chiropractic doctor?
Well, it's it's been ingrained in me since being born, I guess, because my parents are doctors. My dad is it's a doctor in Oaxaca. All my family is in Oaxaca. My mom is an optometrist. My sister is an optometrist. And I remember my childhood memories as, going with my dad and traveling to the mountains and giving vaccinations or giving food like these meals, supplemental meals that sometimes the government gives to them to, like give them other nutrients. So that
Hey,
was my job. to convince the parents to give this thing to
Oh,
the kids, and have them a little bit, give them a little bit of more of nutrition boost. So it
right.
stayed in me. And when I was questioning, like what I have learned, like the side effects of medication, seeing chronic issues with my own family, I was like, maybe there is a little bit more that I need to look into, and that's how I fell into chiropractic.
Okay. And you shared with me before the show, in our communications, you shared with me the following, and I'm going to quote, I hope I got this right. You say, I love to work with women, the busy kind, like moms, professionals, passionate entrepreneurs, helping them realize their healing potential and obtain a greater degree of health. Why women specifically?
Because of my mom, my role model. And I, especially because when I see her working so passionate with someone or something, a project, then it becomes, her mind is so focused on everyone else but themselves. And that is where I'm like, okay, I like the passion. I love how they, become like this motherhood. Now I'm experiencing it as a mother. Like, all my intention is toward my son, and we forget ourselves.
Sure.
That's what I love to work with women. Not that men have, like, not interested or anything like that, but this
Of course.
this happens more, and I feel like it's important to talk about it.
Absolutely. And of course, we know that women's health issues are are in the past, I think. And correct me if I'm wrong, but it seems like women's health issues in the past were more, we didn't really talk about, women's issues with our bodies, with menopause, with, all the mental health issues. It seems like now there's much more open conversation. And I think that also leads us to better solutions, other options, other ways of thinking about ourselves as women. So I do appreciate that so much. And I know that there's a story specifically about a mom patient. Do you mind sharing that story, because I think it really illustrates your point of, because you believe in your heart of hearts that a healthy mom is the cornerstone of a healthy family and community.
Right. Imagine being 23 years old
Ah,
and having two very small kids under 3,
okay.
and somebody tell you that you have, so this mom had pain that was not letting her get out of bed, that as soon as she put her feet on the ground, she could feel the pain, the stiffness, like not being able to move. Her neck couldn't move at all. So
Sure.
when you have small children, you have to jump out of bed because they're
Right.
hungry. They're not waiting for you to, like, try to convince yourself that you have to get out of bed,
Right.
right?
Right.
So imagine this when the diagnosis came to be acute rheumatoid arthritis, and she could see it on her hands being so swollen. And, like, I think her hands were like this because of the pain, like the inflammation, the soreness. Her wrist was like swollen. Carrying the baby was such a traumatic experience.
Sure.
And babies need that contact. They actually need your physical contact and being health. And she just couldn't do it.
Sure.
Um, of course, like, I meet her and she's crying, and this is emotional um frustration because they she could only hear that one is in her mind. She's too young to have. She's too young.
So that's what they were, other doctors, other
Other doctors is
health.
telling her. It's like, this is in your mind. And then, like, as she continued, like, looking for help, She's like, okay, this diagnosis is gonna be there for the rest of your life, and you just have to deal with it. I'm like, who wants to hear that at 23 years old? Like I
Right.
don't think I was even mature enough to hear that myself.
Right. Well,
If I
I don't want to hear it, and I'm almost 60. So,
right, no, me either. So when I said, traumatic stuff, stressful actions happen throughout years. And then there's a point where your body's like, I just cannot take it anymore and I have to let you know to be proactive and do something about it. And this is exactly what happened, like where all the symptoms just rushed in
sure.
and she had to put attention to herself.
Right. She didn't have a choice at that point because it all what I'm hearing you say and what I believe as well is all this trauma
Right.
is going to manifest physically most of the time, right? Not for everyone because everyone's different and everyone has different thresholds, but at some point usually it will manifest itself physically in pain or inflammation or other symptoms. What were you able to do for her?
First of all, and we have to work through what she was told, because she was told, whatever you do, don't go to a chiropractor. So I was like, okay, what was the explanation? And
Right,
so I guess something about my neck. I'm like, yes, rheumatoid arthritis affects the very first bone of your spine.
right.
But by being specific with my work, I can send her, I sent her to get X-rays. I
Mhm.
sent her to get very specific X-rays where I can see that structure
Right.
being solid. She had MRIs already.
Sure.
So there is this test that you can figure out if there is any instability on the bone already. And of course, like you want, I would say no, you're not a candidate if I wouldn't have any of these tests.
Sure.
I also did a thermographic scan of her spine,
Right.
and there we could figure out, okay, there's alterations in different areas on her spine. So this very methodic work is what she needed.
Sure.
One, to be able to figure out, okay, this is not gonna be more harmful to me.
Right.
Like the least thing I want is to like completely decrease the little motion that she had. Like that's not my purpose. That's not any chiropractor would tell you. Is like, no, there's no harm in chiropractic if we do studies, if we follow up with what we know.
Right. That's well, you have to be thorough. You have to be methodical. There's a process, right, that you go through. That and I'm just trying to imagine. Just my heart goes out to someone who's 23 and being told all these things. It's not just the physical pain, but now it's psychological pain,
Yes,
right? Because we're hearing words, and if you embrace those words, whether they're positive or negative, they're going to impact you in
yes,
one way or another, right?
right.
Um,
And that
that's
that's an absolute true. Whatever you hear, you are gonna, in a way, indirectly or directly, you're gonna absorb it. And
right,
a lot of people absolutely become the thing that they're being told. Like, oh, like I almost like I am rheumatoid arthritis patient. But
right,
then say, no, that's not who you are.
right,
That is something that is manifesting through your body at this very moment. We're
right,
gonna learn to manage it. We're gonna learn to change that perspective,
right.
and then we can control it.
Sure, right.
That is
It's
gonna go away. That's a long process.
right, of course. And
Right.
what I love about what you talk about, it really is a 360 view of her health,
Right.
of your patient's health.
Right.
Dr. Nayeli, I know that you're really busy and you've got a lot of things going on. So I do want to move on to sort of a little bit more about you. What's the biggest professional challenge that you've encountered and how did you overcome it?
Um, I think the huge part of education or assumption about chiropractic, it's a huge one
Sure.
because you know you are trained to trust your doctor. You're trained to trust your whoever you believe in, right? And if
Right.
that person doesn't have the knowledge about, for example, chiropractic, and they say just no, then I feel that it's on my part to like, hey, call the doctor or call the dentist or whoever, like try to educate. Like this is bigger than myself, and I have to put it out. That's as simple as that. Like neurosurgeons don't have to educate anybody because like it's pretty much knowledge, like they we know what they do, right? But not chiropractors, and throughout history
Right.
it's been that way.
Right,
So
right. It's the stereotype, it's the stigma, it's the lack of education, right? It's very similar to the work I'm doing in hemp CBD education.
yes.
You know, very similar. So I think I can relate a little bit, not to the degree, but a little bit. I understand what you're saying. One more question for you, and this is
Mhm.
just, since we're talking about challenges in professional, what about, because I mentioned or you shared with me that you also have benefited from chiropractic care yourself. Was that one of the biggest personal challenges that you had, or is it something else?
No, this is more of a clarification of how chiropractic helped my life. Throughout my studies, I've been suffering from migraines. And like you are told, like, just like take your time, don't overstress, take out the diet, don't drink coffee,
Right.
like stimulants, don't be exposed to things that can create symptoms. I was like, I have done all that, but I'm about to do my finals or midterms, and here comes the migraine. It's like, how much stress can you control? The stress is
Right.
always there, right?
Right.
So to one of my teachers, even within chiropractic, you would think that the school would give you like a break so you can do this more calmly. No, they don't. No, it's the school. You have to pass the grade. So
Right.
so you have to I talked to one of my teachers. He said, I always had migraines, but now they're manifesting more when I'm like stressed out with these tests that were not easy. I want
Right.
to do something. So I started myself as a patient during chiropractic school. And good thing I did it early enough during the course because the 4 years is actually 4 years of chiropractic school
Okay.
that it helped me greatly. It There was a point when I said like, wait, when was the last time I had? Oh, this is good. I don't even remember. Like, yay! Like,
Right.
and
Right.
then I was drinking coffee. It's not like one of my triggers. So
Right.
it did
Right.
it 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 benefited me to the point that I could no longer remember that
Right.
it was happening. Actually, in one of the trips to El Salvador,
Uh-huh.
airlines sometimes they don't go and they delay you for like extra
Yeah.
day.
Yes, I know.
So I didn't sleep that night.
Uh-huh.
And when you're like completely tired, when your body is like completely like tingling,
Plans. Yeah. Yeah.
I was like, oh, am I gonna get a headache? Am I gonna get a migraine? Like,
Right.
is this part of the migraine? The migraine never happened. This was truly tiredness from overexhaustion.
So it's wonderful that you are a chiropractic doctor who has personally experienced relief from chiropractic care. I think that says it all. I think it's a great way to end this chat with you. But before we let you go, um, you know, First of all, thank you for sharing your insights, sharing your expertise in this area, because again, I think sometimes what prevents people from getting healthy is the number one thing, I think, is lack of education, lack of understanding, right? That there are other options that may potentially help, right? There's no guarantees, and everybody is different. What works for one person may not work for another person. But if what you've been doing over and over and over is not getting rid of or relieving the symptoms, perhaps it's time to open up your mind and try something new, right?
And if this is something that from all our conversation is something that you want to take home, you the audience is this is one thing that there's not one true fix for anything. There is not. Like we have to look into open our minds and look into other possibilities. Even if everything that you've been told that is wrong, that is maybe, even books written about it, because there are.
Of course.
Don't
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
what are the chances? There's no side effects for chiropractic.
Okay. Well, thank you. That was one of my last questions. What was your takeaway for today? And then the last final, I promise I'll let you go. If someone wants to connect with you, how do they reach you? How do they continue to have potentially a conversation with you?
I'm building right now my website again because motherhood lets you distract you a little bit. But you can find me on Facebook at the specific chiropractic center Oaxaca,
Okay.
or you can find me on TikTok as Doctora Resultados.
Okay, doctora resultados. I like it.
To me, able to show effectiveness is great. It's
Absolutely. The results speak for themselves, right? So your doctor results. I
right.
love it. Thank you so much for joining us today. I really appreciate it. And I'm so grateful that you were able to carve out some time. I know that you are super busy. You've got a little one at home and you've got a family and you're an entrepreneur as well. So
Right.
you are super busy. So thank you so much for joining us. I think everyone in our audience, our viewers, our listeners are going to really appreciate just your candidness and your openness. And thank you for coming to discuss this with us today.
Anytime, Carmen. My pleasure. It's
Thank
always an honor.
Thank you so much, Dr. Nay. And, we might have to have you come back.
Oh, anytime.
Okay. Thank
The
you so
other
much.
way. Thank you so much.
I'll see you soon. Thank you. And thank you. Oh, look. I'm so glad I didn't click off. And
Bye.
who's that?
My team member.
Oh, it's so cute. And what is she, he?
It's a he. It's my son's bunny, but it needed a little bit of cuddling times.
So glad that we had our special guest appearance by, is it, what's his name?
Armando.
Armando. Thank you for joining us, Armando. You are very handsome.
Thank you. He's famous
Thank
on
you.
TikTok suddenly.
Yeah, that's great, right?
Right?
All right. Well, thank you so
Thank you
much.
so much.
Thank you. Gracias. Adios.
Bye.
Bye. Bye. And thank you to all of our viewers. I hope you enjoyed our surprise visit today. I love when that happens. Sometimes you can find comfort and joy in the little things and little guest appearances. So I'm very excited. And thank you again, once again, to Dr. Nayeli Cordova for sharing her perspective, which I love, by the way. This is one of those times where I agree 100%. If moms are healthy, the family's healthy, the community is healthy. Thank you so much because, women have a lot of responsibilities in the homes, in our communities. And if we are not showing women how to take care of themselves, then that's on us to suffer the consequences. They are the cornerstone, so especially moms. So I'm sure we'll get some different opinions about this topic, and that's okay. We are open to all these conversations, which is why we look at everything from a 360 lens. Again, this is one of the things that I love to do is have these conversations and showcase different perspectives on health. So I hope that everyone takes away a little bit of something, a little nugget of knowledge that they can incorporate into their lives to help them feel better. That's the whole goal. That's the whole purpose of this series. So thank you once again. This is Wellness 360. I'm Carmen Milagro. And for everything Divina, Wellness by Divina, Carmen Milagro, everything, just take a look at our QR code, or you can find us on the socials. And, we want to continue to have these conversations, and we want to continue for you to keep joining us. And we will see you next time right here on Wellness 360 with Carmen Milagro. Thanks, everyone. Bye bye.